What is up everyone, welcome back to Mainly Movies, the channel where we talk about, well, mainly movies. So today in this video I'm going to be reviewing the new A24 documentary, Val. Val shows us the life of famous Hollywood actor Val Kilmer, told through hundreds of hours filmed by himself throughout the years. We see his homemade movies growing up, behind the scenes of Hollywood productions, and his life now after being diagnosed with throat cancer.
My name is Val Kilmer. I'm an actor. I've lived a magical life, and I've captured quite a bit of it.
Push the button!
I was the first guy I knew to own a video camera.
Here we are, filming ourselves.
Is that a video
rolling, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool, Val.
So first of all, I just want to say I'm not really going to be planning on talking about many documentaries in the future on this channel. But because this one is about Val Kilmer, and it was one that I was interested in watching, and also it's an A24 published film, I had a good idea that maybe I should review it. At first I was just going to watch this in my spare time, but I thought that maybe it would be a good idea to review this as well. Now this has been out for a couple of weeks now, so you might have seen reviews and different things about this film, but I just want to talk about it after watching it last night. Quickly, I'd also like to mention that a couple of nights ago I watched Tombstone for the very first time, which is a very, very good Western, and I really enjoyed that movie. And I kind of watched it in preparation for this. I'd seen many of his other films that he starred in as well, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Top Gun, and obviously Heat, which is one of my favourite roles that he's played. So I was quite excited to watch this documentary. I hadn't really known much about Val Kilmer before this. I always kind of saw him as like a side character in most movies. I've never really seen anything besides maybe Batman where he's kind of the main character of the film. But I was still interested in watching this because, like I said, I'm a massive fan of Heat, and he's he has a great role in that movie, so I thought I might as well watch this documentary. And after watching it, I felt like I've connected with him a lot. This documentary is very, very inspiring to me, particularly because I want to pursue filmmaking as a career, hopefully one day, and I'm a massive fan of filmmaking, watching behind the scenes, interviews and everything like that. So this documentary was right up my alley, and it definitely inspired me, as well as Val Kilmer inspiring many other people, people who could also have been suffering from throat cancer. He could have inspired them a billion times with this film. What he's accomplishing now with his artwork and all this stuff is a great achievement, and I very much obviously hope the best for him. Yeah, this documentary was so heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time. It shows a whole lifetime of Val Kilmer from when he was a kid, starring in his brother's films, homemade films, where they bought a ranch in California and made and shot their own homemade films there, which I always thought was really cool. I like watching that sort of stuff. And then we see him doing interviews, we see him behind the scenes of movies that had terrible productions and movies that had great productions that he was really excited about working on. And just his philosophy on acting as well was just a great thing to watch. Another thing I want to mention is I don't really watch a lot of documentaries. I only really watch the ones that I'm interested in watching. It's not like films where I can kind of give films a chance. Documentaries is something I have to have a passion for the topic, but I will say that this is probably one of the best edited documentaries that I've seen. It's very well edited and very well shot as well. Some of the shots that Val Kilmer got just throughout his life and throughout the years is really cool. Some of which it almost seems like he predicted something. You know, they're talking about something and then it shows footage of it, and you wouldn't think in real life to just stop and shoot that moment, but he did, and it was really fascinating. Obviously, my favorite parts of this movie was seeing him on set of movies and how he worked, and his philosophy on acting and writing and all that sort of behind the scenes stuff. But it was also really interesting to see what he's doing now. Also, keep in mind this movie is narrated by his son, which is a perfect choice. It never really seems like a problem throughout the film. His son does a terrific job at at kind of capturing his father's essence in a way. So I really did enjoy that aspect of it. But there are many moments, and I'm kind of I can cry like a baby during a film. You know, every time I watch Forrest Gump or something like that, I always end up tearing up. Movies that have like even the slightest bit of emotion at the end, I can tear up. And this movie had me weeping. It was very, very sad in some parts. I cried in tears of joy sometimes in one part in particular in the film, and it was just phenomenal. It was like watching somebody's life. It is watching somebody's life, and it never feels like, even though he is or suffered from throat cancer and was diagnosed with all that, it never felt like Val Kilmer had this. Obviously, that was a low point in his life, but it never felt like that stopped him. You know, afterwards when he recovered, he started doing art and he started helping other people with pursuing acting and things like that. But by getting a studio, like he made like the studio for up and coming artists for all different sorts of arts, filmmaking, acting, and visual arts and stuff like that. So I mean, it's truly inspiring, and I can't really say anything negative about this. There was never a moment where I felt like it was unnecessary to put things in. No, it all fit very well. The way the movie's structured, kind of like timelines, is also really good, starting from the beginning and then moving on to what he's doing now. Yeah, it flowed very well. It was a very easy watching documentary, very heartwarming, heartbreaking, and also truly inspiring. Like I said, I can't give this a negative, so I'm gonna have to give Val a 10 out of 10. It truly is a really, really good documentary, a really inspiring documentary. I felt like I know more about Val Kilmer now as a person after watching this, whereas before I just kind of seen him as an actor, but now I see him more as a person. I know that sounds a bit weird, but when you're watching a movie, if an actor's really good, you don't see the actor, you see the character. And Val Kilmer does that as well. I always see Val Kilmer as that character. I never see him as the actor. He's always been really good. There's also, quickly I'd like to mention, there's also a really interesting part in this film where they talk about a cursed production, a production of a movie that was just like terrible. And it was a movie starring Marlon Brando called The Island of Dr. Moreau or something like that. And yeah, it seemed like they were really struggling on that. But even things like that kind of inspire me. It inspires me in a way what not to do on a set, or how not to act, and just kind of, you got to be really prepared when you're filmmaking. So it was inspiring. This is a very inspiring documentary. So if you are at all interested in acting, screenwriting, directing, even editing, because the documentary itself is very well edited, this is definitely something you should watch. So yeah, I highly recommend this one. Anyway guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've got more videos coming, so definitely stay tuned. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. So stay tuned, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.